It's 4:30 on WKYT this morning. A Central Kentucky nonprofit says a thief stole $1,000 worth of Christmas gifts meant for less fortunate children.
Students and parents all alert this morning after police say two Jesse Clark Middle School students had encounters with strange men this week.
And Lexington police say they now believe the same man is responsible for robbing a Lexington gas station 3 times in the last week.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Hello there and good morning. We're glad you're on WKYT to start off this new day. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. You can already feel that chill in the air.
Yeah,
Things are going to change.
Some rain out there this morning as well. It's light at the moment. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, the backside of that is now rolling through the bluegrass here in Lexington, and that's why we're only feeling some of that light rain. The heaviest rain is over toward the east-southeast. Really the most widespread rain, that is. And you can see that continue to try to churn off toward the east. It's going to take a little bit of time. I would say early afternoon is when it's all said and done for the far eastern zones. Here around Lexington, we still have a couple of more hours before we can move it on out. Wet roadways, temperatures there in the 40s for most, where the front has moved through, and 50s for the rest. I'll talk about your afternoon forecast and show you that hour by hour coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. A Central Kentucky organization says a thief stole thousands of dollars of gifts that were intended for less fortunate children.
Those gifts stolen from a storage facility owned by the Paris Kiwanis Club, and Monique Blair spoke to organizers who want to know why someone would steal from children.
I still have to go back shopping for stuff that is still missing.
The Paris Kiwanis Club is a nonprofit organization devoted to making the lives of children better. Just days before the annual Christmas for Kids program, President Jesse Crockett realized about $1,000 worth of presents for the children were missing.
Oh, I was mad. And just from somebody stealing from the kids here in town that really need a Christmas.
Although Crockett is disappointed, the club worked quickly to make sure the kids wouldn't be.
Oh, they still got their toys. We went back and bought everything back as close as we could to the games, and then one of our members is going to go shopping again tonight because we still figured out some stuff was missing.
The club volunteers dedicate the entire year to raising money for these hundreds of gifts that will go to about 75 different Bourbon County children. The gifts were stolen from a storage unit in Bourbon County, but there wasn't any sign of a break-in, and there weren't any surveillance cameras.
That's really the rough thing with me is somebody knew what was going on, is why would they do it?
Now Crockett is asking the real-life Grinch to return the stolen gifts.
They could bring it out here and just drop it off in front of the door tomorrow sometime. Nobody knows. Nothing to be said.
In Bourbon County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And each child will receive more than $50 worth of gifts tonight at the Christmas for Kids program.
Students of Lexington's Jesse Clark Middle School and their parents are on alert this morning. Police say twice this week students have reported being approached by strangers. A 6th grade student says he was walking to a bus stop on Southview Drive when a man in a red pickup truck jumped out, grabbed him by the ankle, and shoved him to the ground. His mother said he was able to fight off the man.
He was able to kick the guy and get away from him. He kicked, he punched, he ran.
The other student told school leaders that a man in a car pulled up to him outside of his home and offered him candy and a ride. Students who walk to school or the bus stop are encouraged to stay in pairs or groups, avoid darkened areas, and use main streets instead of shortcuts.
A grand jury's indicted a man in the case of a missing Nelson County woman. Danny Singleton's been indicted on 38 counts of perjury. Investigators say he lied when he appeared before a grand jury. Singleton works for Brooks Houck, who's been named a suspect in the July disappearance of his girlfriend, Crystal Rogers. Houck has not been charged. A Montgomery County couple lost their home after an SUV crashed into it. The damage is so bad the home had to be condemned. The crash happened along Maysville Street in Mount Sterling. Garrett Weimer talked to the woman who lives at the home.
Shocked and shaken, Haley Donaldson says she never expected this.
It's just happened, so I haven't even really had time to process it and even figure it out yet.
Donaldson says she and her boyfriend left the house just a few minutes before a Nissan Pathfinder went off Maysville Street and plowed into their home. Firefighters say 4 people inside the SUV were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
It's just shocked, like, just out of every place in the town, it had to be this place. Not that I would want that to happen to anybody else, but...
Donaldson and her boyfriend say they lived there for nearly a year. His brother was inside the house at the time, but in another room. He says it sounded like something simply fell off a shelf. Then he saw smoke and knew it was much worse. That house is condemned, and the young couple who lives there devastated. But thankfully, they're okay.
This is our first apartment together, and we just worked so hard to get to this point. And it was just the perfect house for us, like, and now it's just gone. Like, we'll never get to go in there again, probably.
Now, just a week and a half before Christmas, Donaldson says she doesn't know where they'll go or what they'll do next. In Mount Sterling, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Garrett. Investigators have not said why the SUV went off the road.
4:36 is the time on WKYT this morning, and 2 men caused a scare at a Lexington elementary school after police say they tried to get past the school's office. Police say the men showed up at Sandersville Elementary School yesterday saying that they wanted to register for classes. When staff wouldn't let them past the office, police say they tried to open a locked door. When that failed, the 2 men ran off. When police tried to stop the men a short time later, they crashed their car into a garage on Movado Court. 19-year-old Jordan Render and 20-year-old Eric Scott are charged with burglary, fleeing and evading, and criminal mischief. And police say more charges could be filed. A Lexington gas station has been targeted for the 4th time in the past week, and police now think that the same man is behind at least 3 of those robberies. The latest happened early this morning at the Speedway gas station on Paris Pike. Police have arrested 2 people after a chase this morning. They have not been charged with the robbery at this time. The gas station was first robbed Saturday morning, then again Monday morning, and yesterday morning as well. Each time, police say the robber showed a weapon and demanded money.
He won The Voice, and now people in Harlan County are planning a big celebration to welcome Jordan Smith home. Smith was named the winner of the NBC singing competition Tuesday night. Hundreds gathered in Harlan County for a watch party, and they cheered when Smith won, as you can imagine. A lot of hooting and hollering. The county judge executive says it's also a victory for anyone from the mountains who has a dream.
My little boy runs up and is crying his eyes out, and I thought he was hurt, and he says, "No, I'm just so happy for Jordan."
Well, Jordan will return home this weekend. Monday afternoon at 2:30, he'll be honored with a parade through the streets of downtown Harlan. And that'll be followed by a celebration program at 4 at the Harlan Center.
It's going to be a big one. I understand even Congressman Hal Rogers among those planning to attend that event. Well, the Force may be with you, but some of your Star Wars gear won't be welcome at Force Awakens premiere. If you're planning to see the movie in Lexington, here are some things you need to know about what you can bring. The Kentucky Theater is the only cinema that will allow you to wear masks or face paint. Cinemark, Regal, and Movie Tavern allow costumes, but no face paint or masks. And only the Kentucky Theater will allow faux lightsabers. And if you have not bought your ticket, it's not too late. Several Lexington theaters still have tickets for tonight's premiere. And that'll be big as well. There'll be people out there in the night.
Kind of a big deal, right?
You got it. WKYT this morning, just getting started. Great to have you with us on your Thursday.
Are you stressing about overspending this holiday season? Moms Every Day shares some quick money-saving tips after the break.
Yeah, we're trying to get this rain on out of here. Once this rain moves on out, the cold air filters on in, and this green on the screen may turn to some white. I'll show you that in your forecast coming up next.